Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Ryan Sikora. I'm going to be one of the interns this fall at the Varsity Sports Show. So happy to be with you guys this year. I've loved sports for as long as I can remember, and I cannot wait to be with you guys on Thursday, Friday, and even some Saturdays all this year.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hi, my name is Eric Perry, and I'm the proud owner of Eco Roofing Solutions. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I'm the current president of the Arizona Roofing Contractors Association. Our mission is to provide the absolute best customer experience, and we operate all over the entire state of Arizona. We will come out and provide a courtesy, no-obligation roof inspection to you, as well as an estimate within 24 hours. Our team is dedicated to providing the best quality product and workmanship, and we're here to serve you. You can call us at 480-695-7736 or check us out online at ecoroofaz.com. To learn more about us, you can find me on Instagram at YourBeardedRoofer or at EcoRoofingSolutionsAZ. We are proud supporters of our community's youth and the next generation, and we would love for you to come and join the hashtag Eco family today.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Right there, you're good.
Has he been editing these, or do you want to restart and try and do it in one take? Okay.
Yeah, audio's working.
All right. Good to go? All right. Hey guys, for the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Lucas Metzner here with Brophy College Prep head coach Jason Jewell. Coach Jewell, how are you feeling tonight?
I feel great, man. The weather is awesome, and we get to play one of our rivals, so it doesn't get better than this.
Absolutely. Two great teams coming into tonight. Brophy College Prep visiting Notre Dame Prep. Coach, there's two elite quarterbacks playing tonight, yours and Charlie McGinnis, and the opposing quarterback for the Saints, Noah Triagos. How do you expect to stop him tonight?
I don't know if we can stop him. We need to contain him. They did a really nice job with him last year of just getting rid of the football. I think our defensive line is one of our strengths and can get after guys, but they negated that, really. They were able to get with quick passes. So it's been able to stop him and keep them from getting big plays with that good receiver, Cooper Perry.
Absolutely. Coach, what did you tell your own quarterback, Charlie McGinnis, before this week's game?
Well, really last week was he didn't play his best football in the first quarter, and then he settled down and played awesome. So just play his game. Don't do too much. We have a big offensive line. We're going to protect, and we're going to be all right and run the football. So don't do anything that's out of your character.
All right, Coach, last question for you. Carlos Estrada still out, correct? And what did you see from Harrison Chambers in practice this week?
I see a lot from Harry. He is a tough kid and a determined kid, and last week we saw what he could do when he was given the bulk of the carries. I think he had 23 carries, like 168 yards, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he stepped up in a big way last week, and we're going to need him again tonight.
All right, for the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Lucas Metzner here with Coach Jewell.
Snack Shack open for business. We've got a variety of water, soda, and
All right, everybody, we're about to go live in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6. It's the latest iteration of the Holy Bowl between these two schools as the Brophy Broncos visit Notre Dame preparatory as the Broncos get ready to face the Saints. Avi Singh alongside Lucas Metzner. Great to be with you all tonight. Lucas, what are your keys to the game for both teams who are both 3-1 at this moment?
Both teams riding hot. They suffered some early close losses in the season. Brophy on week 1 and Notre Dame Prep on week 2, and they were close losses as well. Tonight, we have 2 elite quarterbacks coming into this one for the Brophy Broncos. It's senior Charlie McGinnis. He's coming in. He's lighting it up. He's already thrown for 767 yards, and he's got a completion percentage of 65.7. He's lighting it up. He's accurate, and he's got the Broncos offense moving. But on the other side, you got the Saints, and tonight it's going to be a quarterback showdown with Notre going to be under center for the Saints, senior as well. He's put up crazy stats. We're only 4 games through the season, and he's already thrown for over 1,000 yards and a ridiculous touchdown to interception ratio, 15 touchdowns to just 1 interception. The quarterbacks tonight are going to be electric.
Yeah, you said it yourself. The quarterback battle is the highlight of the game so far. What you should watch for, of course, Charlie McGinnis has thrown for 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Meanwhile, Noah Trigueros of Notre Dame has thrown for 15 touchdowns and just 1 interception. And as you said, he has over 1,000 yards passing.
Trigueros is completing at a high percentage too. He's over the 70% completed mark. 70.2%. He has completed 73 passes in 104 attempts. Pretty impressive display. We're getting very excited to kick this one off. Should be a great one tonight.
Yeah, as it looks like Trigueros will be the first quarterback we'll see here as the Broncos have won the coin toss and elected to defer.
No, it's flashing in and
Split
out.
kicking duties. Right now it's Eddie Jetton gonna kick this one away. Does a great job of booting it into the end zone.
Yeah, kickoff tonight, Eddie Jeton, Connor Fury, the other kicker for the Broncos. And the 2023 Holy Bowl is officially underway as Jeton's kick will be taken for a touchback.
His specialty, just booting it into the end zone. But the offense started at a
So what I'm
normal
gonna
spot.
have to do is just follow the
Little
quarterback.
Pat McAfee golf swing celebration as he trots off the camera there. Exciting to see kickers put their energy into it. And we get our first look at the Saints offense tonight.
Yeah, so out Lucas Trotz, Noah Trigueros, and his favorite wide receiver as well, Cooper Perry. He's had 22 catches for 418 yards.
Impressive stuff. He puts up 19
Share up there now.
There are. Yeah.
yards a catch is his average.
Yep.
Saints starting from the 25 on the touchback. Trigueros dropping back to throw, passing, firing. It is caught over the middle. Oh wow, he breaks free, still on his feet, going all the way to the 40-yard line before being taken down. What a great throw over the middle by Noah Trigueros. That's caught by Maximus Scholl, the sophomore, and a big gain on the first play for the Saints.
Saints with the scripted offense coming in right away.
Let's get his zoom
Referee
shot on
signaling here.
offensive ball.
Play's going to stand, but it was a great job right there. Brophy elects to drop back into soft zone, and he's got a target just running a simple in route over the middle. Splits the 2 linebackers playing the middle of the field, and a nice catch and run effort right there. Break tackle and get what we call yak, yards after catch.
A great start offensively for Trigueros and company as they go to work here. 1st and 10 on the 42, starting to enter Brophy territory. Trigueros takes the snap. He'll toss it to Jamison Bush, the running back, who spins his way out of bounds, not before picking up 5 or so.
Trigueros also has some notable rushing yards. He's got 26 carries for 72 yards. Not anything too special normally, but 2.8 yards per carry for a quarterback. That's pretty good. I like the play call right there. Get his legs involved. Little speed option. Make the read with that unblocked defender.
Yeah, Jamison Bush, the running back who shoveled the ball to, has been pretty involved in the Saints offense as well. 24 carries over the season with 163 yards and a touchdown. Last week he rushed for 92.
He's got a long of 76. He's dangerous to take plays for a very large amount of yards.
Trigueros 2nd and 5. It's a handoff to Bush, and he'll work his way through for the first down.
That time, just a good push by the offensive line. Zone blocking scheme, inside zone right there. Just enough of a push from the center and the 2 guards. Open up a little hole. Let them get through. And the Saints keep the sticks moving as the offense is firing on all cylinders.
And Lucas, the fact that this is a quarterback battle makes you wonder how much the two offensives have decided to run the football here.
Especially they're showing out in an empty set right now. Might not see a lot of running tonight.
1st and 10 on the 32, approaching that Broncos red zone. Snap from Trigueros, looking, firing, hauled over the middle, incomplete though. Pass intended that time for Brady Meyer. It was broken up by Jake Schoenhals.
Jake Schoenhals doing a great job right there, staying with his man and never giving up. Tackled him after the ball got there and made sure that ball was incomplete. Saints trying another quick hitter. Coach Jewell talked about it. They like getting the ball out quickly. Slant is a great way to do that. But a great defensive play there, sticking with his man, knocking the football out last second.
And this Broncos secondary has been known for their great play to start the season so far, as we just reached the halfway point with this 5th game. 2nd and 10 after the deflection. Trigueros, play action, dropping back, having to throw that ball away. Pressure that time from the Broncos.
Immediate pressure in his face. That one was a designed screen, but you got to give credit to the entire Brophy Broncos defense and possibly that sideline for yelling, "Screen, screen!" Right there, the defense does a good job. They're aware of what's happening. The offensive linemen are letting them through. Some of the defensive linemen creating that pressure. Some of the defensive linemen following the running back, make sure he doesn't get his easy completion. And now the Saints facing the 3rd and long.
Pressure that time from Devin Kennedy, the University of Iowa commit. 3rd and long now for the Saints, trying to get some points on the board after what's been an excellent first drive so far. Trigueros dropping back, firing. This time it's caught. And a little stutter step from the receiver there, just short of the first down that time. That's Cooper Perry, his favorite target.
And Kobe's
What
zooming out a
makes
little bit.
Cooper Perry so good, his ability to catch football and run routes, of course, but he's got some elusiveness to him in space, can make a man miss and kind of get those extra yards. Got a few there, but that throw was such a shallow throw and well played by Brophy's defense overall that one didn't go anywhere. Interesting in-between territory here. It's too long for a field goal, it's too short to punt, so the offense elects to go for it.
Yeah, gutsy call here by Notre Dame's offensive coordinator to go for it here on 4th and 8 at the 30. As you said, no time for a field goal. Trigueros looking to his left. He's got pressure coming, airing it out towards the end zone. It is incomplete. And no flag on the play that time, broken up by Billy Eastep, the captain of this Brophy defense.
Good play right there by Billy Eastep. You know, Notre Dame Prep not happy with that one, thinking they should have gotten a flag call there for pass interference, but I saw two guys contact fighting it out until the end. Just barely a catchable ball inbounds. I think that's just a good play right there. He wins the football back for the Brophy offense, and a critical stop after the Saints were moving early.
Yeah, that time Trigueros just hauled it out, and that time aired it out towards his receiver. That was Landon Stick, but just broken up that time by Billy Eastep. Good physical play on the football, as we'll now see this Brophy offense led by quarterback Charlie McGinnis.
Number 12, Charlie McGinnis, quarterback.
And it will be a reverse sweep here to start the game. And the quick tackle, good recognition by the Notre Dame defense. It was a handoff to Nathan Benzie, the wide receiver.
Trying to get Benzie involved. I like the design right there, but that's just even better defense from Notre Dame Prep. Recognizing reverse, calling it out on the entire sideline, and scraping all the way over the field to make sure the tackle was made.
Loss of 2 yards that time. It's 2nd and 12. McGinnis looking, firing. He's got the first down to his receiver, complete. That time it was Jacob Buggy.
Jacob Buggy making a nice route right there. He's just got a simple curl route, breaks his hips down at the sticks, and here comes Brophy with the tempo.
Quick speed, that's how they like to play it. This time it's a handoff for Harrison Chambers. He works his way outside, and that's another Brophy first down. And Harrison Chambers, Lucas, has taken over for an injured Carlos Estrada and has been very effective so far.
Making the most of his opportunities. What Harrison lacks in size, he certainly makes up for in speed and elusiveness.
It's another handoff, this time to Chambers, trying to go down the middle, but stopped quickly.
And not only speed and elusiveness, but Harrison Chambers is tough. Of course, his strength is how quick he is, and those side-to-side jukes and those moves.
But one thing I love about this kid is every time it's a run up the middle, he just puts his shoulder down into the nearest defender and fights for that extra yardage.
Yeah, small but mighty, as they say. Third down here, just 2 yards to go for the Broncos. McGinnis on the keeper himself, and it looks like he's got the first down.
Definitely going to be close here. You can hear parents from both sides yelling out short or he's got it, depending on what side you're on. We'll see what the referees rule here.
And it's all going to depend on the spot of the ball here. And it looks like the Broncos will be given the first down.
That's a close fist. It's 4th and an inch.
4th and inches here for the Broncos. Post call that time. They're going to have to go for it here.
Watch out for a hard count from Charlie McGinnis.
Notre Dame with a blitz expecting a run. They will run with Chambers, and he's got the first down and more before going down. And Lucas, as you said, McGinnis has tried to use that hard count a lot of times so far throughout the season, and he's gotten defenses to jump.
We've seen it almost every game. He gets it 2 or 3 times, gets that critical 5 yards in a 3rd and medium, 3rd and short, sometimes picks up the 6, sometimes just gets him close. It's been an effective weapon for this offense in a pinch.
Brophy able to fight with their possession. McGinnis, he's taken down. Sacked that time for Notre Dame. That's Braden Higbee.
That time, protection breaking down. McGinnis on a rollout play. He's fighting, but he's got nowhere to go. And now they're going to rely on his arm right here, try and get him back in it because they're looking at 2nd and a country mile at the moment.
A usually stayed and steady Brophy offensive line faltered that time as Higbee went in for the sack, and now it's 2nd and 19. McGinnis firing quickly, passes deflected, but it's caught. And working his way forward is Jacob Buggy. That's his 2nd reception of the night, and way to fight there as that one was initially swatted away.
Thought that one was going to be knocked down incomplete by one of the defensive linemen, but great concentration to find the ball through the deflection on a nicely designed screenplay.
3rd and 10 now after the gain of 9 from Buggy on the screen. McGinnis under pressure again, able to get it out, but just has to throw it away. And good pressure again from Notre Dame. They've been getting past that offensive line and to the quarterback.
That time, linebacker Luke Martin comes sprinting through the right side of the Brophy O-line, untouched. Miscommunication right there. The guys didn't call out who they got on that play. 2 of them went for the same guy or same area. Untouched blocker. Totally disrupts McGinnis' ability to fire an accurate pass, and will remain scoreless as Brophy looks to turn it back.
Broncos with the punt now, and Notre Dame will let that bounce, and a great punt that time as that goes out to around Notre Dame's 12-yard line.
Split kicking duties, as we were saying. The other kicker, number 45, Connor Fury, kind of that Aussie-style punt, rolls out a little bit.
Good job, guys.
And gets that running start boot. Gets down inside at or right about the 10-yard line. It's going to be the 12. That's a great job by the punter and the special teams. Pin the Saints offense in deep and make them have to work a lot of field to get points here.
And Brophy realized they had 2 special kickers in Jatan and Fury, so they decided to run the double tandem with them here. As now Trigueros and the Saints offense come out for their 2nd drive of the game, just short of points last time. Trick play here, screen pass caught. Out towards that right side, still going before being brought down is the running back, Jameson Bush. And you can see earlier he made a little spin move around Trigueros before catching that screen.
Yeah, nice little design fake right there. Also a good design to use the motion to get that man open. Brophy has to change their assignments when you motion a man. They just didn't have the right change of assignment lined up to stop him. That was a solid 8-9 yard gain right there.
And with Trigueros, you can see how much of a versatile passer he is. We've seen screens, we've seen plays over the middle, and we've seen deep balls already.
He's a 3-level passer, and that's why he's one of the best. Can't have guys just doing it at 2 levels. Got to have all 3 to be an effective thrower of the football.
Just 2nd and a yard here, maybe a few inches to go. Trigueros on the keeper himself will push his way forward for the first down. Tackled that time by Kennedy.
You see both teams trusting their quarterback's legs and running a different variation of quarterback power. Tried it earlier with McGinnis on that third down play that got them to 4th and inches, and that time Trigueros picks up the first with his legs, resets 6.
And that's another thing about these quarterbacks too, is they're very good on their feet.
That's what makes them so dangerous. You never know when a play breaks down when they can just take off and run for 15, 20 yards.
Fresh set of downs here for the Saints after Trigueros kept it. It'll be a fake sweep here as Trigueros keeps himself just short of the first down, probably 4 yards or so short.
They're finding, one of the things I like about this Saints offense is they're finding ways to run traditional football concepts dressed in new formations and schemes. Right there, they're using motion once again, typically not associated with a counter, and they call a quarterback counter play right there. It's been pretty effective to keep the Brophy Broncos off balance here.
And while they have a running back like Jamison Bush, they love having Trigueros on keepers. 26 carries last game against the Sunny Slope Vikings. He got 72 yards and a touchdown using his legs. Three yards to go here on second down. Trigueros will drop back to throw. Firing, it is deflected, risky pass. Swatted away that time by Dominic Mitchell.
Dom Mitchell absolutely glued at the hip on that receiver right there. Smart play by him, and just a great play to keep tracking his receiver, cutting across the middle towards the boundary. And like I said, he was glued to him. Incomplete pass right there. That's textbook defensive back play.
And that Broncos secondary efficient all season. Guys like Jack Seaball, Jake Schoenhals, and Dominic Mitchell who just made that play.
They have made the difference against more of the elite quarterbacks like Trigueros.
And we saw them do that against Luke Moga and Sunny Slope as well, as here it is on 3rd and 3. Trigueros, short pass caught. And we'll have to see what the judge rules it here. Pass caught that time by Cooper Perry. Looks like he was short of the first down here, so the Saints will have to punt for the first time.
That's a great play. A lot of offers for this young man. He's got a bright future in football. Number 20, Cree Thomas. He's got the assignment of the best receiver, Cooper Perry. He follows him, and on just a little short rollout, they only need 3 yards. They try and roll out, get the easy completion, and they accomplish that. But Cree Thomas plays his assignment perfectly, lets his man make the catch, but makes a great sound tackle before the marker.
Cree Thomas, excellent defensive back. Oh, wow. It's a fumble here on the punt, and it looks like the punter was tackled in his end zone after getting it, or maybe just short of. And yes, no points for the Broncos, but it was a bad snap that time for Notre Dame on the punt. It rolled past the punter. He was able to recover it and stop just short of the end zone, so that means Brophy will take over right at the goal line.
Colin Aramian making the tackle that time on special teams. One of the things that has kept Brophy afloat and made them so great, they make the routine plays on special teams, and they make the special plays on special teams as well. They're well coached, and that often forgotten phase of the game can turn a game on its ear. Brophy looking to capitalize early.
Yeah, and I was about to say, too, we were going to see Cree Thomas as a return specialist, and then Notre Dame ended up fumbling the football, so now Brophy takes over here, 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. McGinnis hands it off to Chambers. He is in for the touchdown, and the Broncos with the first points of the Holy Bowl.
Simple, but effective. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Just a simple inside zone give from McGinnis to Harrison Chambers. Let your small workhorse lower his shoulder into a guy and get the first points of the game.
And Harrison Chambers, the guy you would think because of his height would run usually towards the outside, but he loves getting those inside runs, lowering that shoulder and pushing his way through. And that's what he did there for the Brophy touchdown. As it'll be Connor Fury out here for the extra point. Consistent as always, right through the middle and good, and Brophy leads 7-0.
This is a great job there by Chambers, lowering his shoulder. Like you said, you think he'd go to the outside. He's not afraid of any hole. He's not afraid of any play call. He'll go wherever you need him to go, and it's his combination of agility and power that makes him such a great runner.
And it was a shocking turn of events here in the first quarter. A bad snap led to Brophy getting the ball right at the goal line of Notre Dame, ran it right in for the first score of the game.
Happened quickly right there. The good old one-play drive with perfect field position. Saints offense has a chance to come out and respond here after they are about to punt. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints offensive coordinator scripts 2 or 3 plays out of this drive right here. See if he can get his guys fired up and moving in the right direction.
It'll be Jatan here on the free kick. Shorter kick that will bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
That one didn't sail on the air for Jatan, but he makes it in the end zone nonetheless. Extremely effective in that all year long, forcing opponents to go mostly the length of the field. And he knows that he has an elite defense behind him. We love that secondary, and the Broncos defensive line had some elite talent on it as well. So let the defense start out in a normal spot and go to work against a talented offense.
And the Saints offense comes out here for their third drive of the game. They have to be a little bit frustrated with how close they've been getting to score.
Especially that first drive, first play out of the game. Thought there was a lot of momentum going Notre Dame's way.
Trigueros with a fake play there ends up turning into a shovel for a gain of around 5. And Notre Dame loves running these trick plays.
Yeah, especially the option. One of my favorite plays in all of football, the shovel option. You're leaving 2 Brophy defenders unblocked, running back on each side of the quarterback. And those 2 unblocked have to choose between the 3 runners, and you make the pitch accordingly. It's normally a very effective play.
Second and 4 here after the shovel pass. That's Bush in motion again. They've had him in motion a lot throughout the game so far. Trigueros airing it out towards the sidelines, deflected by E-Step. That was intended towards Cooper Perry. Looks like we have a penalty marker on the field.
Right around the line of scrimmage came from the head referee, and that flag went sky high. Someone must have said something.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive throw of the penalty flag here. We're going to have to see what's going on. This could be some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct call.
It is a personal foul, and the Saints are going to get 15 yards out of this. So a costly disciplinary penalty right there for the Broncos.
Yeah,
giving the Saints better field position right there.
Looked like there was a Brophy player that got an unsportsmanlike penalty call, so the Saints will advance. And you and I could tell from that too, the flag was thrown way after the play had ended.
No chance of pass interference there. Knew it had to be some extracurriculars.
So Notre Dame with some free yards here. It's 1st and 10 from their own 41. Quick screen pass here to Jamison Bush before being brought down. Tackled that time by Alex Salome.
Just a quick design right there. Notre Dame prep, like a lot of these modern West Coast offenses, love to use that motion to try and get Brophy off of their alignment, off of their original assignment, and maybe make them rethink what they're doing. Just a quick screen. Very interesting tonight seeing Brophy roll with just 3 defensive linemen, knowing there's so many passes imminent tonight.
Just a 2-yard gain that time for Notre Dame. Trigueros airing it out over the head of Perry, incomplete. That could be a defensive holding. You can hear the yells from the crowd, but ultimately no call as Billy Eastep with man-to-man defense on Cooper Perry.
Billy Eastep is going to get a lot of parents up in arms with the way he plays defense. He plays close to his receiver and he plays physical. Earlier in the game, had that throw to the end zone. He made the pass breakup. I didn't think it was a penalty there. There was some contact from both ways right there, but that one much closer. Billy Eastep might have gotten away with a defensive holding right there.
Eastep, the Broncos' defensive captain, committed to playing football at Yale University after this season is over. As here's a snap, toss to Perry, going outside. There's Cooper Perry, and he's brought down that time. Good stop for the Broncos On the tackle there, Jack Flynn.
Yeah, what a play there. Linebackers staying home and flowing side to side to the correct side they need to go. That time, that original play was almost blown up. The defensive line got there early, and the trick play toss was just gotten off. Cooper Perry, I'd be careful of a fake here. It's kind of close, and the talent of Cooper Perry is quite obvious. So we'll see what they do here. But a good stop by the Brophy Bronco defense.
Yeah, and they may run a fake here with how that snap went last time. Another errant snap, but the Saints were able to get a punt off that time. Bounces off around the 38-yard line.
Pressure immediately in his face trying to make that punt. Did not get very far. Doesn't really flip the field position. I see a flag coming, and the referees are going to discuss here what happened.
And Lucas, there has to be some sort of concern about back-to-back errant snaps on back-to-back punts.
Yeah, a long snapper might have to get down on the sideline and pick out one of the bench players to work on it with, unless the long snapper is a starter. Get out there, work on your snaps. You have to deliver something consistent because right now it's shooting Notre Dame in the foot. It's the whole reason the Brophy Broncos have a touchdown right now. And it could have led to even further disaster with not much time left to go in the first quarter. Another errant snap, pressure in the punter's face. He can't make a good punt. Now Brophy is starting this at midfield. So the last two possessions for the Brophy Broncos can't ask for much better field position.
Yeah, last time, as you said, the errant snap put them right at Notre Dame's goal line. This time they'll start from the 50 with a mixture of an errant snap punt and a Notre Dame unsportsmanlike conduct. As McGinnis to throw on first down, he's got a guy right in his face, and he'll just keep it himself for a few yards. Good improvisation that time from Charlie McGinnis.
And that's why these quarterbacks are so dangerous and so good. They have that sixth sense of when the play is broken down, and you just have to tuck it and run.
And that'll do it here for the first quarter of the 2023 Holy Bowl. It's the Brophy Broncos 7, the Notre Dame Saints 0.
At the end of the first quarter.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's
Hi,
where
everyone.
my wife and
Nice
I
to
have
meet you.
gone
I'm
for
Ryan
over 10
Sequoia.
years,
I'm gonna be
and
one
we
of the
trust them
interns
with our
this fall
routine
at
and
the
extensive
Varsity
dental
Sports
care
Show.
because
So
they
happy
care.
to be
Dr.
with you
Amber
guys
Angel
here.
is an
I've
Arizona
loved
native,
sports
born in
for
the
as
town of
long as I
Miami,
can
and has been
remember.
practicing in the
Can't
Valley
wait
over
to be with
20
you guys
years.
on
For
Thursday,
general to
Friday,
comprehensive dental
and even some
services, call
Saturdays.
602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Second quarter action here from Bemis Field at Notre Dame College Preparatory in Scottsdale, Arizona, as the Broncos lead the Holy Bowl 7-0 over Notre Dame, looking to drive for yet another touchdown. Lucas, what's been your takeaway from that first quarter so far?
Got a good one brewing so far. We thought coming in this one as being an offensive shootout. Still has the potential to be, but both defenses really stepping up to the task right now.
Brophy starting this quarter from Notre Dame's 45-yard line, 2nd and 5. It's Harrison Chambers on a carry down the middle, pushes his way through for the first down before being tackled by Cody Wells, the outside linebacker. But a good offensive play that time from Harrison Chambers.
We see this play from Brophy get called maybe anywhere from 7 to 10 times a game. It's just simple inside zone. The offensive lineman got the skills to make it happen. They find the holes against this forefront Notre Dame prep defense, and Harrison Chambers will run into you shoulder first if he needs to.
Always works out when you have a power running back like Chambers with a mixture of that speed as well as that time McGinnis' pass was caught outside. That was CC Christian Camarada.
That's great body control right there. It's only a couple yards, maybe 2 or 3, but that one might go down in his memories. He did a really good job running an out route to the sideline, and he got the toe tap. In high school, you only need one, but he did a good job getting both feet in bounds.
McGinnis here, play action to Chambers, firing it is caught by Jacob Buggy, And just like that, the Broncos move into the red zone at Notre Dame's 15-yard line. McGinnis fired it, complete to Buggy. Tackled that time by Wesley Rodgman.
You know, McGinnis' top targets, Jacob Buggy and Jax Ryan, they're going to get involved in this game somehow, and Buggy is off to a great start. Brophy is bringing just a little bit of tempo, but look to the sideline for the call. They're inside the red zone now.
1st and 10 at Notre Dame's 15-yard line, looking to get another touchdown here. This time it's a handoff outside to Chambers, working his way through just short of the end zone, around 2 or 3 more yards to go here.
That time, they'll let Chambers use his speed, and like you were saying earlier in this broadcast, you'd expect him to get it to the outside. There it is, little sweep off of the tackle right there, and his speed and power do the rest, getting them down right near the 5 for 1st and goal.
And there's that option they have of Harrison Chambers. They can go outside or inside, and it's still going to work. As McGinnis, airing it out that time, incomplete, over the head of his receiver, and just couldn't pull it in.
Was looking for Dalen Sharper right there. Just your classic fade route to the far side of the field. I think Charlie threw a pretty good ball, but it just had too much on it to go out of bounds. One of the most electric plays in football in big situations is that one-on-one fade route. It's just the quarterback trying to put it into a spot for his receiver, and that DB going at the receiver.
One of the most electric young players, too, Dalen Sharper, had that breakout game in San Diego against Cathedral Catholic as McGinnis has passed that time. Caught by Jacob Buggy, but caught out of bounds. Back-to-back plays did not come to fruition for the Broncos, and it's a big 3rd down here, Lucas.
Really surprising to me that from the 5-yard line, as well as the Broncos have run the ball these last 2 weeks, that Coach Jewell went to 2 straight passes and likely a 3rd here.
And McGinnis gives it to Chambers. Touchdown, Broncos. Harrison Chambers, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. And just like that, it's 13-0.
And that's why Coach Jason Jewell has the headset that is down on the Brophy sideline. When you're least expecting it, just run it right up the middle.
Field goal set up here.
He knows that Chambers is good for 5 yards with his speed. Defense expecting a pass. Offensive line opens up a nice hole in the middle, and the Broncos capitalize big time on 3rd and goal.
Out is Connor Fury for the extra point. Right through the uprights, it's a 14-0 game. And Lucas, you said it yourself. You and I both thought that the Broncos would pass there on 3rd down, but it was a good read option that time. Decided to hand the ball off to Chambers, and he had a hole right down the middle.
Yeah, 5 yards, I guess just close enough of the realm of still being able to run the football, even if it is 3rd down. Like we thought the Broncos were about to be trapped in their 3rd straight pass. It was a great job by Coach Jewell, switch it up and call a nice little run play when no one was expecting.
And Lucas, we were expecting a closer game out the gate, but so far it's been Brophy that's gone to work.
Yeah, the reason being, in my opinion so far, special teams, the long snapper on Notre Dame's side has really got to get his snaps together for the next punt, because right now it has led to the excellent field position for Brophy. You know, Brophy was stopped on that opening drive with normal field position, but they've now been handed the football at the 1-yard line and the 50-yard line. That offense is good enough to get points out of that almost every time.
And had it not been for that errant snap on that first punt of the game for the Saints, this could be just a 1-possession game. But that snap able to give the Broncos their first touchdown of the game. Harrison Chambers just took it in for the 2nd. And Eddie Jaton now for the kick. And this time the Saints will get a touchback, fair catch.
Automatic touchback with the return man in the end zone right there. Broncos business as usual, kick it in the end zone and let the defense go to work. Be interested to see what Notre Dame Prep's play calling is going to be from here on out. Still plenty of time here in the 2nd quarter. I expect them to try and get even deeper into their creative bag with the runs, trying to open these passes back up against an elite secondary.
We'll have to see how they mix things up here with Trigueros and Bush. Perry in motion, screen pass right to him. Trying to find some room to work around, and he does before being pushed out of bounds. We have a flag now, and another one high in the air, Lucas, and this could be another unsportsmanlike conduct, as we've seen tempers flare throughout this game.
Yeah, we got two flags flying high right there. First one, I'm 99.9% sure would be called back for holding, but since that's an after the play late hit out of bounds, Brophy not doing themselves any favors right now. Let's see how this one gets sorted out after the calls.
Yeah, as you said, it looks like the first one most likely was for holding because it was in the backfield. The second one we could see right from here was that push out of bounds as the referee makes his call.
So while he makes that, it looks like Notre Dame is going to greatly benefit from that late hit out of bounds right there. And there was a potential that both fouls actually might have somehow ended up on Brophy right there, as look at how far that football is getting moved. I think they just got a roughing the passer combined with a late hit out of bounds. And that totally changes the field position, a break that the Saints desperately needed. And now we'll see how the Broncos defense responds.
Looks like that's exactly what happened that time. Roughing the passer and an unsportsmanlike conduct took the Saints from having the ball at their own 20-yard line after the touchback to now being at Brophy's 45. So a huge gain due to two penalties. Trigueros hands it off to the big guy, pushing his way through for the first down. That's Jason Samus.
True fullback vibes from right there. Jason Samus, he's wearing number 42, a very fullback-like number. Just takes it right up the gut. First guy he sees, puts a shoulder into him, trying to ram forward, get as much yards as possible. You know, they say with all the modern game and the West Coast and the spread and the motion that fullback or H-back is a dying breed, but it was really good to see him work hard that play and just barrel forward.
Samus listed at just running back, but you could definitely see the fullback there. Also a linebacker on their defense. He's an Ironman player. As they'll give it to Samus again, trying to bulldoze his way through. It'll take around 4 or 5 Brophy defenders just to take him down.
Got that old school Mike Allstott vibe to him. Just very powerful runner that's going to run through you every chance he gets.
And I'm even sensing a little bit of William Perry there, the fridge.
Little refrigerator action, yeah. I mean, he's proven difficult to take down in just 2 snaps right now. We'll see if they keep handing him the rock.
A little bit of Arizona zone, Ron Wolfley as well, and Jason Sandus, that fullback type of player. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Saints on the 33. They'll give it back to their normal running back, that's Bush, and he's taken down quickly. And
yes.
You wonder, Lucas, you wonder if they want to go inside with Samus, outside with Bush here.
Yeah, that would probably be a smart strategy. A lot of speed from Jameson Bush
just a little bit
compared to Samus, who's just going to bulldoze you every time. Doesn't matter where he is on the field.
And now that we've seen Jason Samus in the game, do you think that Notre Dame will go for a mixture of the 2 running backs?
I think it's possible. It also depends a lot on this drive and kind of what their needs are.
We'll have to see how it progresses here as Trigueros will throw 2nd and 8, drops back, firing under pressure, complete. Quick tackle that time. Pass was caught by Dawson Dorward before being taken down.
Jack Flaherty, once again, that's a great backside play. Notre Dame prep had the trickery. They were getting deep into the bag right there. They had a fake screen to the right side, and then they had a tunnel screen coming from the left, but Flaherty just too good, knows the play, reads his man, and makes the tackle immediately. At most, a yard was gained, and now it's 3rd and medium, 3rd and long.
Jack Flaherty having a great game on that Brophy secondary so far. Already 2 tackles here in the first half. Trigueros trying to run it himself, goes down immediately. Tackle that time. Takes him down, it's 4th down.
Mardell Rowe able to get down there, make that play. He's going to have a long future in football as well.
Yeah, Mardell Rowe, a guy with a lot of D1 offers. We're going to have to see what school he sort of floats to. And it'll be interesting on signing day to see where he goes. Big power, bull rusher, great player. Definitely going to play a lot in college. He has a lot of those D1 offers.
Saints are under center for 4th down. Little surprising.
Looks like they will call a timeout here. And I believe Trigueros was trying to go for that hard count that Charlie McGinnis does.
Yeah, looks like the Saints trying their own variation of the hard count right there. I think Brophy knew what was up, though, because he went under center for that one, and both these teams have just been sitting in the shotgun all game long. So a little suspicious right there, going under center on 4th and 10.
And this is yet another time where Notre Dame is in a position where you don't really want to punt the football because it's not going to be advantageous to you, but at the same time it's going to be very tough to kick a field goal from this distance.
They are once again in that kind of middle, no man's land distance. They're down 2 scores about, midway through the second here. It's a very important game, the Holy Bowl, but, this determines if you're going to go 4-1 or 3-2. There's a lot of implications on the line, so I like the aggressive nature here. Try and go for it once again. Especially, we saw the first 2 punts and how those were attempted. They didn't get attempted very well. One of them didn't even get attempted at all. So I like the call to bring the offense back out here, especially with inconsistent long snapping issues.
And here it is, 4th and 10 at Brophy's 33-yard line. The Saints are going to have to go for it here, especially with their long snapping woes. 6:24 left to go in the game. Trigueros takes the snap, dropping back, looking forward, firing deep. It is caught over the middle, complete. Stopped just short of the end zone that time. That's Brady Meyer in a huge game that time for Notre Dame. Puts them right at Brophy's goal line.
A game-changing play right there, 4th and 10. Beautifully lofted touch pass over the middle. You saw right before that play, Trigueros was motioning both of his guys out. He went to an empty set, and he forced Brophy to try and cover 5 receivers. Very difficult to do in a big conversion.
And those are the kinds of play, Lucas, that tend to bring some life back into your offense.
Definitely breathe some life back into him after a couple woes right there. It's 1st and goal. That'll get any offense fired up.
Yeah, 1st and goal here from the 5. Trigueros handed it off that time. Another trick play. Short that time. Tackle was made by Noah Hubbard.
Yeah, not much going on that play. Not enough room, in my opinion, to run that kind of trick play. Being inside the 10-yard line, you're very limited with what you can do. The entire defense is up there. There's no safety sitting all the way back there. It's very mano-y-mano in these goal-to-go situations.
2 yards to go here for the Saints and their first points of the game. Trigueros hands it off and stops short again. That's going to bring up 3rd down. Trying to run a sweep that time with Cooper Perry.
3rd and goal with 2.
Big tackle made on the edge. Linebackers doing an excellent job of what we call scraping, moving horizontally to where that jet sweep was going to, making the tackle in close proximity to the goal line. Now Notre Dame Prep is, since they went for it 4th and 10, they're likely still in 4-down territory, down 14 here. So they're going to pick 2 of their best plays that they like to use in short, try and cut this deficit in half.
Lucas, I see Jason Samus out here, but it looks like he's out to be a blocker. As Trigueros on the trick play, rolling out to his left. Did he have the angle? He crossed the pylon, and they're not going to rule it a touchdown. Stopped just short. Looked like he hit the pylon with the football, but his knee was down before, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And disappointment here for these Notre Dame fans.
Yeah, crazy chase. Really hard to see where he stepped out of bounds as he was reaching that football across the pylon. Looked like a broken play that time to me. It ended up being a quarterback bootleg with Trigueros running all the way to that left pylon, but it looks like the left guard, something broke down that didn't look like the play they wanted to run right there. I was almost surprised that a false start wasn't called.
Well, it was a cunning play that time. They had them fooled for a little bit, but Brophy able to figure out quickly what Notre Dame was trying to do. And a gutsy call here is they're going to go for the touchdown on 4th and 1. Perry in motion. Triguero's trying to sneak it over the middle. And there's a penalty in the backfield. We are going to have to see where they spot him if he was able to break his way into the end zone.
So they will rule the touchdown on the field, but it'll be interesting to see what the flag is here.
Flag was coming from the backfield. This could backfire somehow on the Saints. And you can see them moving back here. Looks like this was a Notre Dame penalty.
AIA rule, I'm pretty sure it is actually illegal to aid that quarterback from behind on the sneak. I think that's what they called here, a 5-yard penalty. And yeah, he needed that push. Trigueros was stuffed before he got a push from his running back right there. And costly play there. They're going to have to settle.
Before it became the Jalen Hurts rule in the NFL, it was an AIA-sanctioned rule. You cannot push the quarterback on a quarterback sneak, as you said, Lucas. So Notre Dame elects for the field goal, right through and good for their first points of the game. Not what they wanted there, but they do get the 3 points on the board.
Points are points. You're always going to take a drive that ends in points. 3 points is much more disappointing outcome than 6 or 7. But, you know, it's a start for Notre Dame, and right now they need it with their special teams long snapping woes. The defense has played pretty well, but it's been difficult on the Saints defense to stop Brophy with such great field position. So really it's going to come down to, is Brophy going to keep up this great offensive play and be able to score without a gift of field position?
And there's always been sort of a conflict in football with the quarterback sneak and the rules regarding trying to push the quarterback in. It used to be illegal in the highest professional football, the NFL, but after Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles did it so many times last year that teams were calling for it to be stopped, they made that a rule in NFL playbooks, but it was already in college and high school, so you could see kind of the trickle-down effect that that has.
Yeah, it was interesting to see how the quarterback sneak has evolved.
Kick that time to be returned here by Creed Thomas. Going towards the middle. There is a penalty flag down before Thomas pushes his way to the 30-yard line. We're going to have to see if there was a hold or an illegal block in the back here.
Regardless of the outcome of that penalty, we finally get to see Creed Thomas's skills as a returner here as he makes a man or two miss before being tackled. But they will be calling that against Brophy. Going to push them back. Looks like they'll start 1st and 10 from the 20.
So to change the battery, you'll twist the thing to the side. Like the little thing that's holding the transmitter.
Looks like Brophy taking a little extra time there on that huddle before they come out for their offensive drive, and you have to wonder what they're cooking up here with it now being a 14-3 ball game.
It is that weird in-between time, just a little over 3 minutes left till half, up by 11 points. We'll see if they try and run it out or put the pedal to the metal.
McGinnis firing towards the right,
No,
was caught. Just short of the first down that time. Catch made by number 81 for the Broncos, that's Devin Fitzgerald.
Simple route concept right there. Another curl route right around the markers and just enough for another first down. Simple route where you just stop yourself right at the first down marker, but always very effective.
And Brophy maybe trying to slow the clock down with around 3 minutes left to play here. As they'll elect to hand off to Chambers just short of the first down, a gain of around 9 yards that time on the first down run.
Great sign for the Broncos. 2 plays, 19 yards, and pushing the tempo to put the pressure on the Saints.
Another quick handoff to Chambers, this time outside, trying to find his way through. He'll get the first down before being wrapped up and tackled. Tackle made that time for Notre Dame.
Definitely one of Brophy's greatest assets in what they're able to do with play calling is their change in tempo. Right now, they're all looking to the sidelines, rather slow, more of a huddle vibe. And other times, they got some on the wristband, and they're going immediately.
First and 10 here. McGinnis will throw this time. Firing it deep. Wide open is his receiver. Jax Ryan taking it to the house. Touchdown Broncos. They'll extend their lead. We do have a penalty marker on the field in the backfield, Lucas. You wonder if this might come back, but an excellent play that time for Charlie McGinnis.
Yeah, it looks like this one will come back. Ineligible receiver downfield. Wow, that is a tough call to swallow. I saw the lineman absolutely fired up, angry that he got called for that one. Didn't think he was that far down the field. I mean, that one is going to be taken away, but that's just a great display of the kind of athlete that Jax Ryan is, his ability to gain speed up the seam, and like I said, taken away, but also a showcase to McGinnis' arm talent to absolutely fire a missile into the seam.
Tough pill to swallow that time for the Broncos, but a beautifully designed play that would have given Jax Ryan his first touchdown of the season. McGinnis looking towards Ryan again. It's caught, spinning his way outside, and he wants to make up for those yards that they lost on the penalty. That's a first down and then some.
I love that call right there by Coach Jewell. Get it right back to Jax Ryan. He knows, debatable call with the ineligible receiver downfield, but there's nothing Jax Ryan can do that. Get it right back to him. Show him you got the confidence in your receiver to keep making the plays.
That's a great mindset to have, too, as a player, not letting that penalty stop you from doing what you do. Ryan could have easily been frustrated from that, bounced back on that play. This time it's an inside run for Chambers, gain of around 5 that time before being stopped. And Brophy with a very versatile offensive system right now.
Run, pass, run, pass, run, pass, 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 run, run. You don't know exactly what's coming next right now. That's what's making the offense so good. They're frustrating the Saints with tempo and changing what they're doing in terms of scheme.
Yeah, and the tempo too. You never know if they want to run that quick smash mouth football or if they want to slow down and take a more West Coast approach. As McGinnis keeps it himself here, running all the way to the 15-yard line into Notre Dame's red zone, and once again, Brophy set up for success.
Whistles here. And it looks like the Saints have had enough. But that is the special talent of Charlie McGinnis right there. He was very close to being sacked that play, looking for his receiver in the pocket, but that quick twitch, sixth sense, and look at the acceleration right there. He went from the pocket to a dead sprint in a matter of a second or two and gained a huge chunk of yardage for the Broncos.
Yeah, Notre Dame having to call a timeout to recuperate here, but with a minute and 10 seconds left to halftime, you wonder in that halftime meeting if they're going to have to figure out to emphasize a way to try and stop Charlie McGinnis because he's been all over them today.
They definitely need to contain him and force him to stay a pocket passer. McGinnis already is a great pocket passer, but this defense is not going to be able to accomplish anything, especially trying to stop that run of Harrison Chambers right now. They need to keep McGinnis in the pocket. They can't allow him to roll out to his right or left because that's when he gets dangerous in terms of his legs and his arms.
This is a close game too. It's only a 14-3 ball game, and you know that Notre Dame offense can come out and score points at any time. So Lucas, it's going to be up to the defense to try and keep Brophy's offense in check so that Notre Dame's offense can then get some points on the board and get right back into this football game. First and 10 from the 16. It'll be a handoff to Chambers, stopped immediately that time. No room to run. Tackle that time for Notre Dame. That was number 78, Damian Villalba.
That was the worst run we've seen for Chambers all night. Give great credit here to the offensive line and their abilities to open holes for him. That time the Saints D-line coming down and making the stop.
Good recuperation that time for the Saints after a little bit of disappointment here on this drive. McGinnis throwing as he's hit. Two Chambers, stumbles, tripped up just short of the end zone. Good tackle that time from Dylan Lavinia. And McGinnis to Chambers, they're just short of a touchdown.
I think the Saints might be trying to conserve time to make a run themselves here. They have to kick it to the Brophy Broncos when we begin the third quarter, so maybe just trying to get some points on the board late before half. Time's winding down with 37 seconds, but man, great awareness by McGinnis right there. All of his receivers, including the running back, in a pattern. The Saints send the blitz. McGinnis gets lit up But before that, throws it to a wide open Harrison Chambers, and Chambers was so close to making that one a touchdown all by himself.
And Lucas, is the blitz something we need to see a little more from the Notre Dame defense here? Because when it's worked, it's worked.
It definitely has worked. They've gotten Charlie McGinnis sacked once already on it. I think you need to use it in strategic places, like right there at second and medium. No one was accounting for Chambers right there, so they have to kind of adjust their blitz to do two things. The blitz needs to contain Charlie McGinnis, don't let him get outside the tackle box, and they got to make sure they're accounting for all wide receivers, because it works when Charlie is pressured and every receiver is accounted for.
The fans are into the game here. We can feel them stomping their feet on the bleachers from all the way up in the press box. As Brophy first and goal at the 3-yard line, Notre Dame trying to make a goal line stand. It's a handoff to Chambers. No, McGinnis keeps it himself, and he is in for the Brophy touchdown. A little bit of trickery that time on the read option. And just like that, the Broncos take a 20-3 lead. They will receive the ball heading it back from halftime as well. So way to run up the score that time. And we'll have to see if Notre Dame can get some points on the board with 30 seconds left to go before this half ends.
Broncos are putting themselves in a prime position right now. I love deferring if I win the coin toss at the start of a game because of what is happening right now and what I personally like to call the slingshot effect. You score right before the end of the second quarter, you get the ball kicked back to you right away with your defense barely having to play defense, and then you try and score once again off of that first kick.
As Connor Fury's kick is good. Speaking of deferring, many people are deferring about how the game is going right now because a lot of people expected this to be a back and forth battle, but so far it's been all Brophy in the first half.
Including us. You know, we're assigned to cover Brophy. We've been following them all season long, and we thought the Saints were going to be a tougher challenge than the Broncos than this right now. I mean, the play calling for the Broncos is just absolutely electric. I like the goal line call. They've had it in their arsenal all year, the read option. It's been killing teams just like the hard count. And that time, Harrison Chambers has been doing so well. They hemmed in on him, and Charlie practically walked into the end zone there on the right side. Broncos are playing elite football on both sides. I'm sure Coach Jewell is very pleased about to head into halftime.
They even tricked us up here on the booth in that option too. We thought for sure that they handed off to Chambers, but McGinnis able, as you said, to walk right into the end zone for that touchdown as they fooled Notre Dame's defense that time. Eddie Jaton out here for the kick with around 30 seconds left to go. This one will be taken for a touchback. Strong kick that time from Jaton. And we'll have to see what Notre Dame can muster up here with, again, 30 seconds left to go in the ball game. But we've seen Trigueros use that arm.
He has a lot of arm strength. We know it's possible for him to get huge chunk yardage plays through the air. The question is, can receivers get open? There's been some openness from Cooper Perry. You know, he's an elite threat, and he's been able to get open in space at times. But can the other receivers get open for Trigueros to throw them an open window and possibly give them some of that yak, that yards after catch right there? So we'll see. It's very hard against this elite Brophy secondary already coming out in a nickel package with 5 defensive backs.
1st and 10 from the 20 here for Notre Dame. Screen pass incomplete. Intended for Bush. 28 seconds left to go here.
Well, the one good news you can give to the Saints right there on that play is it stops the clock. They look like they're being aggressive here. They used 2 timeouts just to preserve some clock left to try right here. They got 1 left in their pursuit to get even 3 points.
You wonder how aggressive they're going to be here, though, with them electing to go for a screen pass on 1st down with 28 seconds left to go in the ball game and no timeouts remaining.
It seems like they want to be aggressive. They want to do something. 2-by-2 formation, potential aggressive nature here.
It'll be a handoff to Bush. Tackled that time almost instantaneous by Colin Aramian. And 3rd down here with the clock rolling, we're going to have to see if this is the shot that Notre Dame wants to take. As Brophy is going to call a timeout here with 15 seconds, as it looks like they might expect what's to come.
This is just what I was thinking about, just about another score right now. They're looking at it, 15.9 seconds here. a third down coming up for Notre Dame Prep. And Brophy has been smart. They haven't needed to use them. They've hung on to those timeouts so they could stop them. They could call one more, get the football back with time for one Hail Mary or something like that, and a timeout in their pocket. They could be trying to bury Notre Dame here before the second quarter even ends.
I think burying is exactly what they want to do at this point. If you can stop them here on third down, you're feeling very confident heading into the second half up 21-3, especially when you know, Lucas, that you'll be receiving the football coming out the gate.
You have a lot of reassurance knowing that the football is going to be yours for sure, coming out of that locker room all fired up off of coaches' speeches and game plan adjustments. You know, it'd be really interesting to see what Notre Dame Prep's play call will be here. Might be conservative with everyone bunched up tightly.
Looks like Trigueros might just take a knee here to end the quarter. And that's exactly what he does. So Notre Dame elects to take a knee, and that will end the first half here of play from the Holy Bowl 2023 edition. Brophy up 21-3 on Notre Dame heading into halftime. We'll take a short break here. We'll catch you all for the start of the second half. Again, obviously with Lucas Messner, thank you for tuning in so far, and be sure to stay tuned for that second half action.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on. What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
All right, everyone, it's time for our top plays from the NFL during Week 2, starting with Broncos and Commanders. Down to their last play, the Broncos need a miraculous Hail Mary touchdown. Russell Wilson airs it out. It's tapped a couple times and caught in the end zone. The miracle did happen, but the Broncos somehow don't convert the two-point conversion. Now we have Seahawks and Lions in Detroit. Geno Smith finding Tyler Lockett for the overtime game-winning touchdown. What a thrilling game once again between the Seahawks and the Lions. We move on to Ravens and Bengals. It's been a tough 2 weeks for the Bengals. The offense has been struggling. They're 0-2, but that doesn't stop Charlie Jones, the punt returner, from housing this all the way to the end zone to put the Bengals on the board in Week 2. What a return. The flag was against the Ravens, so the return counted. Then we have the Jets and Cowboys. The Cowboys absolutely dominated the Jets, but how about the youngster, Garrett Wilson? Wilson to Wilson, Zach to Garrett. Garrett's going to be a star. He takes this all the way to the house for the touchdown. The 49ers look incredible. Christian McCaffrey looks incredible. Look at his burst down the sideline. He had a big-time touchdown run last week in Week 1, and once again in Week 2, McCaffrey doing his thing. Then Patrick Mahomes in an ugly one in Jacksonville. The game-sealing throw to Sky Moore to take it all the way deep into Jacksonville territory. Didn't matter. They got the first down they needed, and they could kneel it from there. Then we have Buccaneers and Bears. It has not looked good for the Bears. Justin Fields throwing it to Shaq Barrett, who has the INT and pushed into the end zone for the pick six. Great defensive play. Titans and Chargers. Ryan Tannehill, little play action, airing it out deep downfield. Chris Moore, the new Tennessee Titan, hauling this in, 49-yard grab. What a big-time throw and catch. And how about the Atlanta Falcons? 2-0, some trickery here. Desmond Ridder, right downfield, all the way downfield. He's got Mac Hollins. Great reception for the big guy. And back we go with the Ravens and Bengals. Now it's time for Lamar and the Ravens to do something on offense, airing it out deep in coverage. How about the rookie Zay Flowers? He looks absolutely incredible. The play was ruled dead, but he made some extra moves after that incredible catch as well, just for the heck of it. Back to Jags and Chiefs. Tough game for the Jags offensively, but not there. Calvin Ridley, an incredible, tough catch in traffic. Quiet day for the Jags offense, not quiet there. Brian Robinson spin moves for the Commanders, helping to lead a late second half comeback. Great move, great rush right there. Rookie to rookie here, Texans and Colts. CJ Stroud, the rookie, to Tank Dell, the rookie, his first career touchdown in the NFL. What a week.
Hello everyone, this is Kyle Cooper with Varsity Sports. Today we go to the NFL and take a deep dive. Greg Dortch, if you haven't heard of him, is a wide receiver on the Arizona Cardinals. Dortch has yet to play this season and leaves all his talent on the sidelines. The Cardinals are now 0-2 this season after losing a heartbreaking game to the Giants 31-28 this last Sunday. Quarterback Joshua Dobbs threw for 228 yards, 1 touchdown, and he ran for a touchdown as well. James Conner ran for 106 yards and scored a touchdown, while Zach Ertz led all receivers with 6 receptions for 56 yards. Where was Marquise Brown? Where was Rondale Moore? And where was Greg Dortch? They could have used his playmaking ability in the second half, as they only scored 1 touchdown after a great offensive first half. Last season, we saw a glimpse of the talent from Dortch as he had a standout performance, 9 receptions for 103 receiving yards against the best defense in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers. He also recorded a 125-yard game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He finished that season with 52 receptions for 467 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not only was Dortch a force last season, but he also played really well in college. For Wake Forest, he had 1,800 receiving yards and 17 touchdowns in his 2 years with the team. He also was named an All-American as a return specialist after he scored 2 punt return touchdowns. He is an excellent receiver with speed and catching ability, but also excels in the return game. He reminds me of NFL legend Darren Sproles. Now the two played different positions, Sproles playing mostly running back and then Dortch playing wide receiver, but both of them had kick returning games that are worth noting. Sproles played a number of roles for the San Diego Chargers, New Orleans Saints, and Philadelphia Eagles. He holds the NFL record for the most all-purpose yards in a single season in 2011 with 2,696 yards. He has the most career kickoff return yards for the Chargers at 6,469 and most career punt return touchdowns with the Eagles at 4. Being only 5'7", he had the most receiving touchdowns at that height with 32. He was an electric player and sparked the offenses he played for. Drew Brees once said this about Darren Sproles: you only see a Darren Sproles type player come around once in your career. Dortch, also like Sproles, is also 5'7" and hungry for playing time. With receivers Rondale Moore and Marquise Brown taking the snaps, it is difficult to fit in Greg Dortch. But for him, Arizona is home, as he's been quoted saying, "I love Arizona and I feel that it is the reason my career jump-started." Quarterback Kyler Murray is out until at least week 5, and the offense is dependent on Josh Dobbs, James Conner, and the rest of the crew. With one of the top defenses in the league coming into town this Sunday, they will need more options to put points on the board. The Dallas Cowboys, 2-0, are facing the Arizona Cardinals, 0-2, this Sunday at 1:25 p.m. local time. Dortch can be that playmaking option that the Cardinals are looking for. He can take handoffs, screens, and get open for big plays, as he has proved last season. He is also an elite returner, but beating out the other receivers will be tough, as they have also proven themselves throughout the years. Greg Dortch, like many other players in the NFL, is trying to make a name for himself, and he really isn't getting any playing time at all with the Cardinals. With the new head coach, Jonathan Gannon, running some new offensive plays, you would think that they would involve such an elite playmaker in this offense. I really do think Greg Dortch has the talent, maybe not as high as Darren Sproles, but he does possess the talent to be a great player in the NFL. It is much tougher to do punt returns as it was when Darren Sproles was playing. It was a lot more common to see those types of returns. Sproles was taking it to the house many times per season. But if Kyler Murray does come back, and now he's saying he will be back sooner than expected, so if he does come back, that should mean more playing time for Greg Dortch. So I think I speak for many fans that are local here and know Greg Dortch. We want to see him on the field. He needs more playing time, and he will make a difference in the game. This will all remain to be seen as the season unfolds, Thank you guys for tuning in, and once again, I'm Kyle Cooper with Varsity Sports. Also, make sure you tune in to Varsity Live, the pregame and postgame show that we do here at Varsity Sports. We talk to all our analysts and players of the week on that show, so you definitely want to tune in and get the previews and the postgame recaps. And that has been your week's deep dive. Hope you guys enjoy the second half of these games.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hi, my name is Eric Perry, and I'm the proud owner of Eco Roofing Solutions. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I'm the current president of the Arizona Roofing Contractors Association. Our mission is to provide the absolute best customer experience, and we operate all over the entire state of Arizona. We will come out and provide a courtesy, no-obligation roof inspection to you, as well as an estimate within 24 hours. Our team is dedicated to providing the best quality product and workmanship, and we're here to serve you. You can call us at 480-695-7736 or check us out online at ecoroofaz.com. To learn more about us, you can find me on Instagram at YourBeardedRoofer or at EcoRoofingSolutionsAZ. We are proud supporters of our community's youth and the next generation, and we would love for you to come and join the hashtag EcoFamily today.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road. 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. Hey guys, Vince here. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Eric Perry. He owns Eco Roofing Solutions. They're local and a big supporter of high school sports all over Arizona. Yes, they're statewide.
A little bit about me and Eco Roofing Solutions and what we're about. I'm a third-generation roofer here in Arizona, and I've been doing this for 25 years.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Ryan Sikora. I'm going to be one of the interns this fall at the Varsity Sports Show. So happy to be with you guys this year. I've loved sports for as long as I can remember, and I cannot wait to be with you guys on Thursday, Friday, and even some Saturdays all this year.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Well, back for second half action in the 2023 Holy Bowl. The Brophy Broncos are leading 21-3 as we head into the second half. Lucas, what are you looking to see out of both teams here so far as Notre Dame tries to make a comeback?
You know, Coach Jason Jewell of the Broncos is very pleased with his offense and his defense and the special teams. All three phases doing well. I'm sure he kept them with a fire under their rear ends, keep that intensity up against this Notre Dame team. They've done really well all around. In terms of Notre Dame prep, though, the offense has not been moving the football like we thought they would. It's been, 3 points. They had 4th and goal from the 1, failed QB sneak and a penalty, and especially those special teams miscues. I expect more discipline coming from the Saints here. See if they can try and inch their way back into it.
Luke Laborio with the kick to start the second half. Brophy to receive. They won the coin toss in the third. Here's Cree Thomas going through the middle. He has a hole, no flags down. Able to push it up to the 31-yard line before being taken down is Cree Thomas. And a good start for the Broncos, who are on a roll in that first half. 3 touchdowns. What are you looking to see from them?
Absolutely. I'm thinking they're going to continue this. They've done a really good job keeping the Saints off balance all night. You see the Saints have been subbing in their certain packages, their nickel packages for the defensive backs. They've subbed in an extra D lineman. They've subbed in a linebacker. They've had a couple different packages tonight, but the play calling of Brophy has been so good and so diverse that it's messed with those packages, and they've called the right plays against the right personnel at the right time. Look for Harrison Chambers to continue to fight for extra yardage and Charlie McGinnis to make the short, safe throws.
1st and 10 at the 30 for the Broncos to open their drive. McGinnis handoff to Chambers out on that right side. Stopped short of the first down, but a good run. And Harrison Chambers, like you said, has been all over the place. They've been able to get it to him outside and inside.
Another burst of speed right there. This time, off tackle once again. Wrapping off the right tackle's rear end and getting about 6 or 7 yards. Good burst of speed, good first down play.
2nd and 4 here to go for the Broncos after the 6-yard gain by Chambers. McGinnis still looking for a little signal there from Coach Jewell. Over on that Brophy sideline, he'll throw it. Screen pass caught by Ryan, taken down immediately that time. Good recognition by J.J. Francis, the cornerback.
Decent play right there. You're trying to set up the other wide receiver blockers, but it was blown up quite quickly. J.J. Francis knew exactly what was going on. So good play design, better play execution from the Saints right there, forcing a 3rd and 7, kind of that medium-long category. This could be a big opportunity for the Saints defense.
Jax Ryan had a big touchdown play earlier, taken back by a penalty. McGinnis under pressure, having a throw there. Incomplete. Good pressure that time. That was Braden Higbee.
At that time, they had the screen designed for Harrison Chambers. It was looking like a good setup to me, but couldn't make the throw with the pressure in McGinnis' face right there. You got all those linemen coming untouched when you set up your own offensive lineman, creating that screen. And Brophy is going to punt for the first time in a while.
Bounce back play for that Notre Dame defense that time, trying to get back into this game in the second half. Connor Fury to punt. And Aaron Ramos, the returner, will let it bounce and will let Brophy recover around the 26-yard line. So the Saints take over a yard more than they would having gotten a touchback. And we'll have to see how Noah Trigueros plays. The Broncos, like they did to Luke Moga, able to shut down another elite quarterback in that first half with Noah Trigueros, and he's going to have to lead this team to get those points on the board, Lucas.
Yeah, definitely going to have to step up his play. I mean, the man has thrown for 1,000 yards in just 4 games. He's averaging 264 passing yards a game, 14.5 yards per completion. He has the tools to turn this around, and he just got a big boost from his defense right there. That's the first Brophy Broncos 3-and-out of the entire night, and the Saints defense just made it happen.
Coming into this game, Trigueros had 15 touchdowns and 1 interception, but hasn't been able to add on to that touchdown count so far. Screen pass to start the drive. Good tackle that time by the Broncos. That was Brady Meyer on the reception, brought down by Brandon Byrne.
Good job right there by Byrne to vacate his defensive edge position and go straight out to the bubble screen right there. That bubble screen could have been dangerous. The outside receiver was blocking well against the outside DB. A really good play from the defensive lineman right there. Hustle play, only allows 1 yard.
Just a yard gain that time on the screen pass to Brady Meyer. So 2nd and 9 here for Notre Dame at their own 27-yard line. That's Jason Samus in the game, but it'll be Trigueros here in shotgun formation. And just like that, the Saints are going to have to burn an early timeout here with 9:59 left to go in the third quarter. Looked like there was some miscommunication there between Trigueros and his coach.
Yeah, not good right there for the Saints. They really want to hold on to that timeout, especially if they start clawing their way back into it. Always want to hold on to 3 timeouts if you can, and for those dire comeback situations. So let's see if the early miscommunication can bite them. You know, Trigueros was signaling his running back, signaling his receivers, motioning them out, asking for them back. Looks to his sideline. Too much confusion. Coach just pulls the plug on that entire play. Make sure the offense is on the same page here for 2nd and 9.
We will see how the Saints recuperated from that miscue here on 2nd and 9.
Yeah, we have video. Here, I'm climbing the ladder.
Trigueros to throw. Firing to Perry, that's complete. Going towards the middle. Out towards his left, still going before being brought down that time. That was Jack Sebald on the tackle.
Notre Dame.
Interesting decisions here from Cooper Perry to run this one all the way back inside, pull himself in a loss of yardage from where he already was, and then tries to continue all the way to the outside to make that first down, but tripped up there short of the line to gain. The Saints are another 3rd and medium situation.
Third and 6 to go here for the Saints at their 30 after Perry's reception. Trigueros to throw again, under pressure, firing out towards the middle, complete to Meyer, tackled by Salome, and good job by the Broncos there to force a 4th down.
I guess one good 3 and out deserves another. We anticipated offense in this game, and we have gotten it from Brophy, but round of applause to the Broncos defense here. They have shut the Saints down drive after drive after drive.
And it looks like Brophy has some sort of special knack for shutting down all-state 5A quarterbacks. They did it with Luke Moga at home against Sunny Slope. They're doing it now here on the road against Noah Trigueros and the Saints.
Credit to Coach Jewell. The guys look extremely ready and prepared. Good week of practice must have been had.
Fair catch that time from Creed Thomas.
So another punt. That time, that was the most crisp and the most clean punt we have seen all night from the Saints. Finally a perfect snap to the punter and a good actual change of field position here, moving them to about the 38-yard line.
You and I saw Lucas Brophy practicing some long snaps before that pre-half warm-up that time, but it looks like Notre Dame did as well. That was a very crisp and clean punt that time, and definitely much better than what we saw in that first quarter with those 2 errant snaps.
Those 2 errant snaps have really changed the entire course of this game, so very important to clean that up.
Hand off to Chambers to start the drive. He'll get a few yards before being swept up off his feet. So let's talk, Lucas, about Harrison Chambers for a few seconds, because Carlos Estrada was the guy for the Broncos going into the season. He played really well out the gate, got injured, out long term, and now Harrison Chambers has really stepped into the role of running back. And between last game against Chaparral and now this game against Notre Dame, he's done his job very well.
You know, we know the story and talk to Coach Jewell on a daily basis, but the speed from Chambers, you couldn't tell that this guy was a backup. You'd think he's a starter. The way he runs the football with such power and speed, the combination's amazing. You know, it's it's incredible to see how he's able to move at a shorter stature than most players on the field and have that combination of being able to elude guys and run through them.
Not only that, but Harrison Chambers with great play recognition and intuitiveness. As you could see on that last play, you could see him juke the guy and then get a spin move before going down. He can see what's on the field, what holes are there, and what holes to take. And he can go a long way. As here's yet another run for Chambers as he'll get the first down and more before being tripped up.
They're down in medium territory right there, 3rd and 5. You're kind of thinking that's the beginning of, all right, we might have to throw here. But that is the difference. That is the impact of Harrison Chambers and how good he is and how he doesn't look like a backup. He looks like a starter. He belongs because you can call a run play on 3rd and 5 and expect to pick it up with him.
Harrison Chambers, too, only a sophomore, so it's been very impressive what he's done out the gate. As that time it was a quick pass by McGinnis to Nathan Benzie before he was brought down. And again, there's that mixture of pass, run, and that quick tempo, slow tempo that the Broncos like to run.
Broncos keeping the Saints defense honest, mixing in the run and pass. That time I like the action there. It was play action to Chambers. You know, they're absolute workhorse right now. So they fooled the Saints defense into thinking run, and that allowed that open quick screen.
2nd and 5 to go. Chambers once more. And stopped short of the first down, but lots of runs so far out of this drive from Harrison Chambers.
You know, after that first 3 and out, Brophy wants to continue to move the sticks. They know Chambers is a guy who can continue to get you first downs on a regular basis, even in not those normal down and distance situations.
And it looks like in that halftime meeting, the Notre Dame defense prioritized stopping the pass game, but they underestimated that run game of Harrison Chambers so far, and it's worked out well for the Broncos on this drive. Around 5:30 left to go in the quarter. Chambers pushing his way through will pick up the first down.
All reliable right there. Classic inside zone call. And 2 yards to go. You know the offensive line is good for it.
Chambers with the break now. That's Brendan Luke who's in at running back for the Broncos on this play. McGinnis the throw, has plenty of time. Looking, decides to take it himself before being tripped up. Goes down. Late hit there on his head, but no flag.
Interesting there. Thought it could have drawn 15, but sometimes you take the context of the game in here. It's an 18-point game. It is 3 possessions, but it was not the most egregious act I've ever seen, so I think that's a quality decision by the referee to put the flag in his pocket and let this game be decided by the players.
Just a yard that time on the carry from McGinnis. This time Harrison Chambers back in the game, and he'll get the ball before being tackled that time by Deacon Shea. And Deacon Shea, a guy who's been very effective for that Notre Dame defense. Coming into this game, he had 42 tackles, but he had been relatively quiet up until that tackle.
A little bit quiet tonight, but always involved in terms of gap assignment. He's very good at knowing what gap A, B, and C he should be in. Good awareness for where he needs to be on the field to make a play.
7 yards to go here. 3rd down. McGinnis under immediate pressure. Just had to let that one go. Big hit that time and big pressure from Braden Higbee, and he's been all over Charlie McGinnis this game.
Very interesting here from Coach Jewell. I do like the creative screens they have in the playbook. They go with another one there on 3rd and long, and the screens have been hit and miss tonight for the Broncos because McGinnis has seen a lot of free rushers come out of nowhere, get a good lick on him before he throws the football by calling these screens. With his arm talent, I'm surprised they haven't thrown it a little further downfield in these 3rd and 4th and longer to go.
Broncos going it for it here on 4th and 7 in no man's land. A 4th down stop would be huge for Notre Dame momentum. McGinnis airing it out. Wide open is his receiver. Touchdown Broncos. Charlie McGinnis gets it complete. And just like that, Brophy up 27-3, and this game is getting out of hand.
4-yard touchdown pass.
Nathan Benzie on the outside that time. One-on-one coverage, and he just burns his man with speed and skill Good job tracking in the football, and finally, McGinnis' arm talent pays off on a play that counts. No flag to pull it back this time. McGinnis almost got killed on that play from the backside. Saints had a defensive back blitz going on. Good poise from Charlie to sit in the pocket, deliver that throw quickly, and put the Broncos in a great position.
Yeah, the Saints have been all over the place with Charlie McGinnis tonight. They've been running that blitz on him a lot, but to be able to take those hits and deliver big has been huge. And that's contributed to that 28-3 lead here in the Holy Bowl.
What a job by the Broncos through and through tonight. Two very talented teams, both coming in at 3-1. Was surprising to see that Notre Dame has not shown as much as a fight as we think they would have tonight, considering their elite quarterback and defense in general has not held Brophy as much as we might have thought.
Well, it's a game that Lucas has subverted everybody's expectations. A lot of people came in here looking to see a very close game between two 3-1 teams and rivals at that, but it's been all Brophy so far, and now Notre Dame just going to have to go out there, play their football, and try to come back down 28-3 with 3 minutes and 58 seconds left. But don't forget, this is that same score we saw at the Super Bowl between the Falcons and the Patriots, and we know how that one ended, so we could be in for a wild ride here to close out the game.
Falcons fans cover your ears.
Ramos on the return stopped right where he would have been on a touchback at the 20-yard line.
The stands have been crying for a face mask. The ball came free right there, but the referee ruled he was down before that potential fumble could even happen. But look at the kick return coverage by the Broncos. Special teams and every single individual special teams unit, punt return, kickoff, kick return, have been lights out. They're disciplined, they know their assignment, and they execute. I mean, that time, it doesn't get, Jetton doesn't get the touchback, and the coverage team stops him at the 15.
First down for Trigueros, trying to run some trick action with Myers, but will keep it himself here, running out of bounds to avoid the hit, and that's exactly what he'll do, as he's being chased down that time by Jake Schoenhals.
Good sixth sense, and picks up 11 on his improvised scramble. That's smart against the Saints, a much-needed first down. They've had trouble maintaining drives. They've had some explosive plays in this one, but they've really struggled to continually keep it going. That play could help them start getting it in the right direction.
First down picked up there by Trigueros. So it's 1st and 10 here at the 26. And it'll be a little shovel that time to Jameson Bush, the running back. Again, that was Jake Schoenhals on the tackle.
Coming back to what they were doing earlier in the game, that speed option, relying on the pitch right there. Good job by the running back Bush to keep the correct pitch relation, but even better job by the Bronco defense. Maybe a yard allowed on that one, if that. The Broncos defense has been dominant tonight for their ability to glide side to side on the field and quickly get to these outside plays that are normally otherwise explosive.
No gain there that time on the pass. It'll be a handoff here to the wide receiver that is Brady Myers, and he got a big gain that time, getting all the way to the 38-yard line of the Broncos and pushing towards that red zone.
Yeah, that time, the offensive coordinator, Notre Dame Prep right there, made a smart decision. He done something the Broncos haven't seen all game except for right before a timeout. Get in I formation. A fullback was used in that formation as the lead blocker, and that kind of changes scenery on offensive scheme, allowed for a big chunk play.
Interesting Kyle Shanahan type of call that time from Notre Dame, saying, you know what, let's use our wide receiver as a running back, and it worked out perfectly that time. As Brady Myers got a big gain there for the Saints. Trigueros having to let this one go and right over the head of his receiver, but he didn't really have any options there as Pressure coming that time from Devin Kennedy.
The elite defensive line of the Broncos. Most of them will be playing at the next level. These guys get after it, and they're an offensive line's worst nightmare.
And Lucas, being up here in the press box, you can really hear the frustration of those Notre Dame coordinators, and it just hasn't worked out today for the Saints.
Yeah, definitely. They've had play disruptors to worry about right next to the football at the line of scrimmage with that elite defensive line and other play disruptors in that talented secondary.
It'll be a keeper on Trigueros on a jet sweep option, and he'll go down quickly again. Tackle made that time for Brophy by number 40, Colin Arambi, and he's had a few tackles so far throughout the game.
What's so impressive to me right now about the Broncos defense is they are sticking with 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and the nickel package for the defensive backs. They got 5 talented DBs out there. They only guaranteed rush 3. Sometimes they bring a 4th with a linebacker. But they have been stopping the run in a 3 front, which is very hard to do.
3rd and 9 from Brophy's 37. It's a fumble, and it looks like Mardell Rowe recovered the football. We've got a flag on the field, however.
Looks like the only reason it might have been loose is Mardell Rowe got a head start as well.
Looks like that's what the call is. It was a false start. Excuse me, it was a encroachment penalty that time by Mardell Rowe. Like you said, he got a head start. Looks like he kind of messed that snap up and then recovered on the ball. So that 5-yard penalty is definitely going to help the Saints out here if we were looking for their first touchdown of the game. It's now 3rd and 4 at the 32.
Moves it into 3rd and manageable. A lot of guys close to the line of scrimmage here for Notre Dame Prep. Interesting to see what they'll call.
Sweep this time. It's Cooper Perry, and not able to pick up the first down.
It's going to be close, though. He didn't get it. He did not get it by much. So, I think the Saints will absolutely elect to go for a 4th and short. But it seems like they got something called against them. Looks like they lined up in illegal formation. I think they had too many guys off of the line of scrimmage.
So an illegal formation hurts their chances of a first down that time. Notre Dame will get to replay 3rd down here if the Saints push back a few yards, and this is going to be a tougher conversion.
Yeah, known passing situation. Shigeros goes right to the empty set. He's got more options. He's got to get this ball out quickly.
Trigueros rolling out to his right, firing. It is caught by Perry, and once again not able to pick up the first down that time as he's hit out of bounds by Don Mitchell. And Notre Dame almost certain to go for it here on 4th down.
Good job just to get the completion that time. You know it's 4-down territory, so make the job easier for yourself. Get some chunk yardage and get closer so you can have more options when making an offensive call here. Try and pick it up, keep this drive alive.
7 yards was the pickup that time on 3rd and 9, so now 4th and 2 from Brophy's 30. And it looks like a Brophy guy jumped. That's Mardell Rowe again.
Brophy just got Brophy'd right there. That's the first time all year that I have seen the Broncos explicitly fall for the hard count right there on a 4th and short situation. And that's what Charlie McGinnis and the offense have been doing to opponents all year, is getting those easy first downs through the hard count.
And it was Mardell Rowe that time, a guy who's usually very disciplined, but he's gotten 2 encroachments here within the last 5 plays. So that'll make it 1st and 10 for the Saints on Brophy's 25. Now in red zone territory, it's Jamison Bush on the carry, going down the middle for a few yards before being tackled.
Simple and effective right there. Almost in every offensive play coordinator's playbook.
Just simple inside zone play for Jameson Bush. Offense does a good enough job. Check out some yardage in a 3-yard game.
The best golf tournament, perfect for golfers of all ages.
Clock rolling here, around 50 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
NDPSaints.org/golf. That is December 4th at True North.
Bush moving to the left of Trigueros, who will hand it off to Bush. He's got room to run. That's going to be a first down and more. It's a Notre Dame touchdown. Jamison Bush gives the Saints their first touchdown of the game, and they get some points on the board. And that's exactly what Notre Dame needed to get some life back into this football team heading into the fourth quarter.
That's what the doctor ordered for this game to not be over. Great, powerful running from Jamison Bush that time. Brophy has been excellent tackling ball carriers all night long, with the exception of that play. Broken arm tackle right there. And Notre Dame Prep finally puts a touchdown on the scoreboard.
Warriors kick right through and good, and it's now a 28-10 ball game with 33 seconds left here in the third quarter, and that ought to bring some life back into the Saints football team.
Definitely a second chance here for the Saints. First touchdown finally comes right before the fourth quarter. Last time out, allowed a touchdown, but before that, 3 and out from Brophy. So, you got to see if the defense can pick up the slack and do it once again. Get the offense the ball back and slowly chip away. Could have been some dire consequences for Notre Dame Prep if they did not convert on that drive. They stuck with it, finally saw their first drive make it through.
And still a whole quarter of football left to be played here, as Laborio kicks it to Cree Thomas, who makes his way out to the 25-yard line before being taken down. So if you're Brophy now, Lucas, Notre Dame just got some points up on the board. You want to try and run at that score a little more.
Absolutely. Need some more cushion here. 3 possessions is quite comfortable, having an 18-point lead, but you certainly want more than that. You'd be surprised what could happen in a football game, and all of a sudden a team quickly racks up 3 touchdowns, and the score is completely different than what it once was. I definitely expect Brophy to run the football, but I'm counting on the offense to also keep mixing in the short pass so that the Saints can't tee off.
It'll be a handoff for Chambers to start the drive. Gets a good amount of yards here, just stops short of the first down by around 3 yards or so.
Here's Chambers.
I'm not going to say any personnel group. Like I say,
Very solid job once again. Just doing what he's doing all night, but he's doing it so effectively. Keeps chunking off 5, 6, 7 yards and putting the Broncos in a great spot on second down.
And that run is going to take us to the end of the third quarter. So Brophy up 28-10 here in the Holy Bowl. Fourth quarter action coming to you all in just a moment. Back here for the fourth quarter of the Holy Bowl, Brophy leads it 28-10 over Notre Dame. As Chambers on the run breaks free from the tackle and picks up the first down there on 2nd and 3.
That's why he is so valuable to this team. Harrison Chambers looks like he's tackled for a loss in the backfield, gains a couple yards. So he might be possibly shaken up.
Hey, Kobe, get off that.
He is able to make it to the sideline, thankfully, and hope he's all right.
Not a good sight here for the Broncos. Harrison Chambers limping off towards the sideline, and that is the last guy you want hurt on this football team right now.
Especially with the impact he's had all day, chunking off yards, breaking tackles, and gaining extra yardage when it seems like he's down.
McGinnis, it's a handoff over the middle before being taken down. That's their backup running back, Brendan Luke, who's going to have to come in here for the injured Chambers.
The injury bug has not been too kind to the Brophy Bronco running back room, so we hope for everything all good to be to Chambers, but they have had a next man up mentality. Brendan Luke, no exception. I'm sure he is ready to play.
As they're going to give Luke the football again, able to pick up the first down that time, and of course it looks like he is ready to play here. Luke has 2 runs, 2 productive runs.
And another first down. Offense keeps moving and clock keeps ticking here. I'm not even sure if Brophy is going to need to throw the football again. That's how well they've been able to run it.
And it looks like at this stage, up 28-10 here in the fourth quarter, the goal is to run down that clock and milk it as much as you can to stop any chance of a comeback. But McGinnis firing here over the head of his receiver, incomplete. That was intended for Dalen Sharper out on that left side.
I stand corrected again, and they finally did let McGinnis air it out once again. Not a horrible throw there, just out of target. You see what McGinnis has the potential to do. He can hit receivers in stride.
2nd and 10 here at the 49. McGinnis has trips action to his right. And he'll keep it himself here on the trick play before being taken down, pushed backwards. And not what Brophy was looking for here, but that does let the clock run.
I'm not convinced that was a fake or trick play. McGinnis looked genuinely lost that Brendan Luke did not take the football from him, so he just tried to get what he could right there.
Third down and 10. Let's hear it, Saints fans.
Did seem like a little bit of miscommunication that time, Lucas, as you said on that play, so that will force 3rd and 10 here for the Broncos. Charlie to throw here, looking, pump fakes, fires, wide open, that's Jacob Buggy, and stumbling there out to the 15-yard line, right in Notre Dame territory. And Brophy set up near the goal line here. Great throw by McGinnis on 3rd down.
What elite poise in the pocket. He thought he had something, and he wisely pumps. He holds on, he realizes he's got good blocking from his offensive lineman, and he hits one of the best targets he has in this group, Jacob Buggy. Man, that ball had some heat on it, almost could have gone through his hands, so great catch as well.
Broncos slowing down the tempo a little here as they approach the red zone. McGinnis fires in a screen pass caught by Ryan, but it looks like we have a flag on the play here. And that's going to go back. That's a false start on Brophy.
Leaving early right there, trying to get a head start on the blocking assignment. So a little 5 yards, but hasn't seemed to be much of a problem for the Broncos offense, especially in this second half. 1 3 and out from the beginning, and since there, they have been efficient movers of the football.
And blocking assignments, too, are ever so crucial on those screen plays. McGinnis fires, caught by Sharper, spin move, stays on his feet, gets a few yards that time before being taken down.
Great effort by Sharper, getting inside the 10 that time, breaking an arm tackle by ducking under it. Ran a good route too, and you know McGinnis puts heats on the ball, so receivers Doing a good job catching him today.
2nd and 5. That's Harrison Chambers back into the game. And another Brophy touchdown. That's his 3rd of the game.
Man, oh man. What can't Harrison Chambers do at running back? What a difference maker he is. Things looked gloomy when starter Estrada went down, but credit to the whole Broncos team, top to bottom. They're always ready for the unfortunate injury, and it's always next man up. Great sign to see that Chambers is doing well and back to his normal ways, too.
Yeah, things looked gloomy as well when Harrison Chambers was limping down that Brophy sideline, but it looked like it was just a little bit of cramping. Stretched that leg out. He came back into the game and got his 3rd rushing touchdown. And just like that, Brophy now up 35-10 with 9 minutes and 19 seconds left to play in the Holy Bowl.
That is looking pretty dire right now for these Saints. The Broncos have gotten to one of the more comfortable leads in football, which is 25 points, 4 possessions. Saints are looking a little doomed in this one. We'll see what ensues on the next drive.
And it is the Holy Bowl, but it has been a little bit of an unholy performance here from the Saints, expecting better things, but it's been a struggle throughout most of the game.
Jetton likely looking to sink it in the end zone once again. He's got that powerful lefty boot.
Kick from Jetton will be taken by Ramos for a touchback. So out comes this Notre Dame offense, and at this point, you're just trying to get as many points on the board as you can and kind of just get your guys ready to go for the next game.
Definitely a good time to work on different play goals, maybe you've been waiting to try, maybe didn't work earlier that you want to work. You know, definitely workshop the offense, try and get another touchdown, get more points for pride, and get the offense ready to compete again next week.
It's Perry in motion to the right. Triguero's looking to throw towards his right sideline, has nowhere to go, and he's sacked by Brandon Byrne.
Brandon Byrne has done a great job all day of causing pressure and just disrupting Noah Trigueros. This is by far Trigueros' worst game we have seen this entire season. Big part of that is Mardale Rowe and Brandon Byrne getting in his face.
Not a good scene here, though, as Brandon Byrne's still down after the tackle, but able to get off the field as they stretch his leg out. And it looks like he's able to get off up his own 2 feet and jog towards that sideline, so let's hope that he stays healthy.
Good sign when the player goes off on their own.
And Trigueros, an explosive quarterback, as you said, but this has been the worst performance of the season from a guy that coming into this game had 15 touchdown passes through 4 games.
15 touchdown passes and over 1,000 yards passing. It's a credit to the Bronco defense for stifling him like this.
Trigueros, meanwhile, under pressure, having to roll out, and he's just going to have to throw that one out of bounds to avoid the sack. Pressure that time from Mardale Rowe.
Defensive line as a unit has created that pressure all along. You know, they're only, for the majority of this game, rushing 3 or 4. Occasionally they'll rush 5, and that is what has made them so effective. That D-line is so good, so hard to block that they have to assign extra offensive linemen for a double team, or every time the linemen on the offensive side are losing that one-on-one battle against these future stars at the next level.
3rd and 14 here, as trickery here. Flea flicker, Trigueros airing it out under double coverage, passes bobbled and incomplete. It was swatted away that time by Cree Thomas.
Cree Thomas showing you why he's highly recruited, one of the best in the state, can stay with this man at all times, especially against a speedy target in a trick play right there. You know, a lot of corners want to prove they can help contain or help the run and the run-stopping effort. But the football IQ is just so high on this Brophy Broncos defense. They've recognized all these Saints trick plays, and they've stayed home to their original assignments.
Flea flicker action that time for the Saints offense, just not working out. As Laborio had to punt it there. On the return here is CC Christian Camarada as he's taken down.
Nice burst of speed from the other dangerous returner, CC Camarada. Gets inside the 40 and sets up the Broncos nicely. Just a little over 8 minutes left to go. Broncos will call on that offensive line to open holes once again, run the football, burn this clock, and get out of here with a statement victory.
And you wonder here, up 35-10 with around 8 minutes left to go, if Brophy wants to put in some of the younger guys and give them a little chance after this drive. Guys like Grant Goodry and Case Vandenbosch, who we've seen play for Charlie McGinnis as he recovers throughout the end of the game in a blowout. As that time a handoff to Brendan Luke before going down.
Chambers looking A-okay after that last touchdown, so let him rest. Don't try and bother a potential injury further. See some personnel changes at wide receiver. Good to see them get a chance in a big lead situation right now.
Yeah, it looks like Brophy's starting to enter that phase of resting their starters. As Luke with an outside carry, lots of room to run. No one bringing him down before a big hit that time at the 15-yard line.
That was one of the better hits we have seen, but not before an elite Brophy Broncos run. Once again, speed to the outside. Next man up, next man up, next man up. This whole running back room has talent and the ability to run the football. Down to the third man coming into the season listed on the depth chart, and he looks just as explosive as Harrison Chambers.
McGinnis on 1st and 10 from the 15, gives it to Luke, working his way around towards that left side before being tackled. And I'll have to tell you what, Lucas, from what I've seen from Brophy so far, they're looking like they have a real shot at the open playoffs.
I think so as well. This team is, 3-1, about to go 4-1, and the only loss they took, season opener to Williams Field, we called that game together, and no discredit to Williams Field, but that win by Williams Field was a fluke. And very, very lucky sort of circumstances came for Williams Field.
As we got to run that time by a different running back, that's Jose Luis Avila before being taken down. And yeah, like you were saying, a lot of people looked at that Williams Field, and of course an incredible comeback by them, but it was really Brophy dominating most of the football game.
Yeah, that week 1 game was over, and Brophy was about to have a win after what seemed like a game-ending interception, but the real fluke came, that fumble out of the end zone to give Williams Field the ball back.
And it looks like next week for Brophy is going to be their biggest test as they travel on the road out to Chandler to play the defending Open State champions, the Basha Bears. As here's Luke with a good run down the middle and just short of the first down, so it's 4th and goal.
Luke doing a good job of grinding away the clock here. Less than halfway to go in this 4th quarter, just under 6 minutes left. But not comfortable with this lead, wants the players to keep on playing hard.
Luke actually able to pick up the first down there as he tries to push his way into the end zone. Looks like he might have been stopped a little short here. It will depend on the signal of the referee. And no touchdown signal here, so yes, just short now for 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line, maybe a few inches to go. And Lucas, if you're Notre Dame, you can't really let this game beat you up because, again, you're a 5A team facing one of the best 6A teams in the state.
Just one of the best teams, period. We've seen how top to bottom, how good Brophy is on a consistent basis.
2nd and goal, it's a handoff to Luke. No, McGinnis keeps it himself, and he stumbles his way into the end zone for a Brophy touchdown, and that lead extends even further. It's 41-10.
Yep, just the cherry on top right there. Getting touchdowns for some of the guys might not normally get that kind of touchdown. We know McGinnis has touchdowns, but not a lot of rushing ones. So he's got 2 today. He's ran the football very effectively. And in a battle of 2 highly touted quarterbacks, Brophy pulls out a wild card and runs the football like crazy tonight.
And you can see that Notre Dame student section has almost completely cleared out now.
A lot of fans leaving the stands. This one well in hand. Race to the parking lot and for some to get home. Sea of red on the other sideline, still strong. Good showing from the Brophy fans tonight.
Yeah, this game, of course, a holy bowl to remember if you are the Broncos. Maybe not so much for the Saints, but really this game, unlike the Brophy Chaparral game, is more so about camaraderie between these two teams. A lot of Brophy students go to Scottsdale, where Notre Dame plays, where we are right now. And a lot of these guys are friends with each other, and you can even see a lot of Brophy students and Brophy parents sitting on the Notre Dame side. So just a good show of friendship and camaraderie here when these two teams play.
Yeah, like you said, on the more friendly side of about as friendly as a rivalry can get. Still just over 5 minutes left to play. A little bit left for tune-ups here for both sides.
Chatan, another solid kick. Ramos takes another touchback, and we'll see what plays Notre Dame comes up with here as they get some more offensive reps out before the end of the game with 4:55 left to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Be curious to see if Notre Dame Prep is going to try and run the football and get ready to get out of here just like everyone else, or if they want to workshop their passing game, especially with a lack of Noah Triguero's passing yards today. Very surprising.
Here's a run that time for Anthony Ramos, the free safety Aaron Ramos, the free safety who's in now at running back. As we get a little more trickery, maybe the Saints trying to practice some future tricks plays. And looking at that Saints schedule, they'll get a bye week next week, and then they'll return to play on Friday, October 6th, as we have a regional rivalry. They'll go out to Horizon to face the Huskies, a very good 5A team. They're 3-1. They're currently up big on Millennium.
Horizon, one of the most elite teams. That's probably going to be Brophy's biggest test of this entire season.
It is Notre Dame playing Horizon, as here's Triguero's out there. But even for Notre Dame, too, that's going to be a big test for them 5A-wise. Of course, this is the 6A, 5A matchup, but that game's going to be a big test as to how far they can go in those 5A playoffs.
Absolutely. Kind of gives you, we want to see what kind of character does this team have after suffering a big loss at home. Is that game against Horizon on the road?
It is on the road, yes.
Yeah, so on the road at Horizon, Horizon has a student section that brings it night in and night out. So they'll have to contend with a tough road crowd when they travel there.
As Triguero's fires here complete over the middle. One thing for the Saints, the bad news, of course, the score of this football game. The good news is that they have a bye week next week, so they get some time off. They get to recuperate at practice and sort of figure out how to approach that Horizon game, and they get 2 weeks to do so. Meanwhile, Horizon will have to play Desert Mountain next week, another tough 5A squad.
Horizon always seems like that schedule is stacked because of who they are, so it's always interesting to see and hear about what they're up to, you know, being a quality program year in and year out.
It'll be a handoff that time to Bush, forcing his way through just short of the first. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 1. And of course, the Huskies, a very synonymous football team with Hamilton, who plays in Chandler, very synonymous as well in the Scottsdale area with the Horizon Huskies, and of course they've been a 5A powerhouse for a while.
Yeah, a You don't know any other. I don't know any other green and gold colored Husky teams. Horizon, the only one that comes to mind. They stick out. They definitely stick out every year.
As Trigueros will keep the football himself, picking up the first down. And speaking of green and gold football teams, Brophy's going to face a real tough test next week when they go out to Bastion to play the Bears.
Yeah, the Bastion Bears, another powerhouse organization or high school throughout all the sports. I mean, you think about what they do as just an athletic program, not any single sport. Basha is pretty much the gold standard, so Brophy is really going to have their hands full, but they'll get to ride the momentum of a big win on the road here tonight.
That game could be a potential Open Championship predictor as Trigueros with a deep ball here gets his receiver wide open. Notre Dame with a touchdown. Great play by Noah Trigueros. He hits Jamison Bush, the running back, who went on a deep route that time, and Notre Dame gets some points on the board here with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to play in the football game.
You know, that's got to feel good for Trigueros. He's got, 16 total touchdowns before coming into this game. Now he's got 17. He's averaging, 4 touchdowns a game, well over 250 yards through the air, and the crazy completion percentage. It's good to see him get back on the board with a touchdown after a less than usual performance than what we were expecting.
As that will bring his touchdown total up to 16 now on the season. And Lucas, sometimes you have to take the good with the bad, and that's the good that they want to take with them heading into the bye week.
Exactly. Keep working, workshopping the offense. Go in, find a nice drive, keep chipping away, and get some points on the board for some pride, as Notre Dame Prep is, having a good season. They'll move to 3-2, but long season ahead of them, especially with the bye coming up. Game experience, hard to come by. Game speed, hard to come by. Good to put another touchdown on the board at that game speed.
42-17 now the score with around 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to play. Brophy to get the ball, they will most likely run out the clock here.
We'll see what the kicker has in his bag for an onside attempt.
Looks like no onside attempt will be taken by Luke Laborio. He will just kick that for a touchback.
And it's a touchback. First and 10 for Broncos.
2 minutes on the clock here. And Brophy should be able to just salt this one away. I don't anticipate Notre Dame thinking of using the timeout. It's time to get out of here. What's done is done. But while we still have a few minutes left in the game, for back-to-back weeks, my player last week player of the game was Harrison Chambers, and I think this week player of the game is also going to be Harrison Chambers. His impact running the football is immeasurable, as Brophy will suit up the backups here, get them some reps in a game situation.
Yeah, Grant Goodry in at quarterback here, and McGinnis gets a well-deserved rest. That's Avila on the carry that time. But absolutely, as you said, Harrison Chambers, just a powerhouse force. I mean, what a story taking over for the injured Carlos Estrada, who we all hope is doing great in recovery right now. But Harrison Chambers, the sophomore, has really come alive in these last 2 games for Brophy. Definitely a surefire pick for your player of the game.
His ability to add extra yardage for Brophy when they're not expecting it has been a critical component of their success these last 2 games.
And some of the success that Harrison Chambers has is that while he may be on the shorter end of the spectrum, he has a lot of muscle and he's able to power through, so he can go inside or outside. As speaking of muscle, there's a muscle run that time for the Broncos. That's Eddie Martinez Estrada, a fan favorite.
Gets it out to the 35. First and 10.
Good to see all the guys that put in hard work on scout team and practice week in and week out get their opportunity to shine in this game that they otherwise probably normally wouldn't have. But yeah, Chambers absolute game changer. Does a great job of fighting for extra yards while holding on to the football. Doesn't fumble a whole lot, if at all.
The running back now, Gavin McGuire, trying to get a few yards before being brought down. And Brophy letting that clock run now with around 40 seconds left to play in this one. Well, Lucas, it was a good, solid win here for the Broncos, and that's exactly the kind of momentum they need heading into a game like the one against Bashan next Thursday.
Absolutely.
As another handoff here, and that's just about going to do it here with around 18 seconds left.
Avi, I want to hear your observations. What is your biggest takeaway from tonight's victory against Notre Dame Prep?
Well, you know, number one, we were expecting a closer game here, and that's not what we got at all, which shows you how legit this Brophy Broncos team really is. I think the real test is going to come next Thursday against Basha. That's going to be the true telltale story of how far this team can go. Meanwhile, for Notre Dame, you shouldn't really sweat this game that much. You're playing a 6A team that ultimately is not going to affect how you do in 5A. It's really going to be about that game in 2 weeks to get another test game, this time for the Saints against Horizon. But just a fun one here between these two teams. Always great when the Holy Bowl gets together and these two friends come to play football against one another. I thought it was a great game tonight.
Yeah, through and through by the Broncos. That defense and special teams needs a lot of credit. Obviously, the offense puts up 42 points on the board. Obviously, led by Harrison Chambers. Tremendous effort on the ground. Charlie McGinnis also ran the football and threw the football great. But that defense really stifled Notre Dame from the beginning. Just 3 points allowed in that first half. They really set the tone, and it was kind of apparent by halftime the direction this game was headed.
Well, that's going to do it here for this year's Holy Bowl at Dennis Field at Notre Dame Prep. For Lucas Metzner, I'm Avi Singh saying so long and good night.